Hello, welcome to the video. I'm Melissa, I write books. It's 5:30 p.m. It's the first time I'm talking to you today. I ended up sleeping in like till 8:30 and I work at 8. It was fine, it's flexible. I can go in at 9, it's okay. That's why I ended up leaving a little bit later. So yeah, I haven't done really any writing today, but I do come to you with unfortunate news. And that is that, as I talked about in my video yesterday, I've been looking at ways to help me edit dictation, or like a dictation software. And a lot of you guys have been super helpful in the comments of that video, so thank you. And I did today try like formatting my dictation through an AI software, and it did work just like incredibly well. And I hate to be the bearer of that news, because I was inputting the information and I was like, please let this not work. And just to be clear, I'm not having AI create anything for me. I'm not asking it to generate new information. I'm just giving it my unformatted text and telling it to format it. And it worked so well. I can't even explain how well it worked. It worked so well. And I really hate that. But I also, I formatted the entire 35,000 words that I have right now in 30 minutes. I did it like chapter by chapter. But the reason I want to still look for other alternatives is because the software I used was ChatGPT. And I know that ChatGPT is like at its core generative AI. So while it wasn't generating any new text for me, I know that it was trained on AI. I don't know how generative AI actually works. I know I've spoken about it on this channel a number of times. I do know that like when it produces new information for you, like if I were to feed my book into the AI and say, add another chapter on, or like continue, there's a button at the bottom that's like continue generating, then it would like continue generating. And I know that that produced the way that the AI is trained is through stolen work. Like there's a lot of ethical issues with generative AI, and I don't know if how I'm using it is utilizing generative AI. I hope that it's not, because I'm telling it like, don't add anything to this or make any like tone edits, just format it. It's a tricky one, and I really did not want it to work, but I also am not of the opinion that any use of any AI tool is like bad or anything. I think that there are lots of AI tools that we can use in the world. Generative AI is what I'm not in, because it's directly taking copyrighted stolen materials and repurposing them, you know, recreating them for you, and then you claim that it's your own, you know. I'm still trying out a few different things. I know a lot of people have mentioned Dragon dictation, and the only version that's still offered is like a law version or a medical or professional version, and like the lowest rate you can get it at is for $700. At one point there was like Dragon Home where you could do like for personal use, but that product is discontinued. I actually like literally went on into an AI, shockingly, an AI chatbot on their site to like ask about this, and they no longer offer that. So Dragon, I don't think is gonna be the option right now. I'm thinking about like contacting them and seeing like, does any of the products that you guys have work well for fiction? Because then I would maybe think about it. But still, it's a lot of money. Yeah, I had someone comment talking about how like while they're dictating, they like add in the quotation marks like typing sort of, and so it just slows down the dictation just a little bit. So I'm gonna try that. I don't know if it's gonna work, because the way that my dictation software works, which is just like my computer, whenever I press any button on the keyboard, I'm pretty sure it like stops the dictation. So I'll just have to look and try that out a little bit, because I don't want, like, I would be fine using this AI to edit the dictation, because literally like after I finish the first draft, I'm not gonna use it anymore. Like it's just like to get the first draft down on paper, you know? And then when I'm in revision, I don't really dictate very much. I'm like adding in sentences by hand. I actually do a lot of typing by hand in revision. Like new scenes, if I'm adding things into scenes, I don't typically dictate while I'm revising. So it would literally just be taking the text that I give it and telling it to format the text that I give it without adding anything to it. But I still don't really love using it. And I have taken a very firm stance on AI, and I stand by that stance. Or I'm on generative, I need to be specific, on generative AI, and I stand by that. But I think, like, I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think that this counts as, is it unethical to do it this way? Because in my mind, it's like, I'm not asking ChatGPT to write me new words, or to like take this outline and write and flesh it out, or to like take these plot beats and create an outline for me. I'm just giving it these words and saying like, can you do the commas and periods and quotation marks and things that I truly do not feel are that creative or that necessary for humans. Because if like dictation software do that through AI too, and so I don't know, like, because it's on a platform that also incorporates generative AI, like, does that count as generative AI then? I don't really think it's a tricky one. And it's not something that I want to be my normal. So I'm still experimenting with like, can I do it while typing a little bit and like do it that way? Or is there another, dictation software I can use? That's the update on that. But you guys, like, it worked so well. And I gave it very clear instructions. I was like, do not add anything. Do not incorporate any other work into this. Literally just fix the punctuation, the grammar, and the formatting. And that's what it did. And it even fixed things like, my main character's name is Greer, and sometimes that autocorrects to like career or Greg or something, and it even like picked up on most of those and changed them to the right thing. And so I also don't love that my book is probably being used to like train the voice of, I don't know if that's how it works, but maybe it is. So let me know if you think I'm horrible. It's just interesting because it's just like, it was a really tricky line for me, because I know that that's literally what other dictation softwares that don't use generative AI would do. Is it that different? I don't know. Really starting off the video with just a bang. It's 5:45, I'm making some pasta because, listen, Alyssa runs on pasta. There's live sprints going on in 15 minutes. In 15 minutes. Honestly, the first sprint I'm probably gonna spend eating. I don't know, we'll kind of see. I'm also doing some laundry. It's just kind of a lot going on, but I definitely am gonna write at the live stream tonight. I really am, because I was so torn on AI. Like, I felt like I was betraying myself as I was like copying my text into it. But then it formatted it, you guys, so nicely. And it didn't change the words. It fixed things. It's actually so interesting because sometimes I repeat myself. And so obviously it just took what I gave it, but sometimes I say things like, I look around at the room, and like I just end up deleting that first I look. It kind of picked up on some of those and deleted it. So I think it's really tricky as creatives because it's a new landscape and people are coming out strong against AI, myself included. If you're thinking about like, oh, what author tubers don't like AI? And like, Alyssa should be the top of your list, or near the top of your list. And I've been very outspoken about it. But I also agree with people who are commenting and saying like, there are tools and technology that we can use. I was thinking about this, and I think it's akin to, like, let's say I have somewhere that is 5 miles away that I go every day, and I need to get there. And why do I have just a bizarre analogy every day? I don't know, but that's what's happening. So it's like 5 miles, that's like a long walk, right? That's probably 2 hours. And I can walk there and back for 2 hours, and I can do that. It's okay, it's not my favorite thing, but I can do it. It's maybe good for my body. I could walk 5 miles every day to get there. But if I have a car, it's okay to drive the car, but it would not be okay for me to steal someone's car and go. I don't know what this analogy. Do you know what I mean? Like, like tools themselves are not inherently bad things, but like tools that are directly harming artists and creatives and our world, like, that is a problem. And so it's like, I feel like I've been given a car that like, I don't know if it's stolen or not, but the person who gave it to me, I'm like, I don't trust that you would give me a car that isn't stolen. I don't know who this mysterious car salesman is, but I think, do you know what I'm saying? If I were to get the car, like I paid for the car, but the person who is providing me with the car, like sometimes they give me cars that are like ethically made, and sometimes they give me cars that were stolen from a working mother of 4. And I don't know. He's told me that it's not that. In this situation, the car salesman is AI. And so like AI generally, like cars generally, car salesman generally, totally fine. AI generally not generative, totally fine. But sometimes it's generative, and it's hard for me to tell where that line is. And so am I gonna walk the 5 miles, or am I gonna drive the car that was potentially stolen, but I don't think it is, but it could have been? Or do I do more research on the car salesman and I look like around and I'm like, are there any cars in the area that have been stolen recently that look like that? This metaphor has really gotten away from me as per usual. And to just go further than anyone needed to with the car analogy, I still just don't feel totally solid. Like I don't want to like make it a habit of buying cars from this man, you know? So that means I don't want to make it a habit of using AI regularly just because like I know the issues with generative AI and it's difficult for me to tell which is generative and which isn't in some cases. Kind of a wild conversation to start off daily vlog day 13. But I think it's probably gonna be a more chill day. I plan to just dictate because now I have this way to edit dictation. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm really wrestling with it. Sometimes I feel like I wrestle with things because I know inherently that I feel guilty about it, and that's not the case here. Like, I know I should not feel guilty for using technology, but I just worry that like I don't want to do something just because it's easy if it goes against my morals, but I don't know if it does or not. You know, it's kind of tricky to tell. If you know more about generative AI than I do, let me know what your thoughts are. And in this specific circumstance where I'm using ChatGPT, I am, and putting that dictation in there. Like, what are the vibes? What are we thinking? And also like the weight, the pressure took off of me for it to like format it so easily. Because I don't think I gain anything creatively by editing through the dictation. I'm not thinking about it as I'm doing it. It's so honestly draining. Like I feel like it was inhibiting me from going forward in the story. But I know that those are also things that people say about using generative AI, which I am not. I don't know. Been a long day.
Voiceover Alyssa here to take you through the rest of this video. So here I am writing a new chapter in Elias, my male POV's perspective. And I'm also in Cody, Riel, Amina, and the lovely Andy's live sprints right now. And having a great time, finding out how tall everyone is. It's a great time. Anissa was saying this. She has been around since last November in my comment section. Love you, girl. Was saying like it was so fun to watch you last year during NaNoWriMo, but it's even more fun to watch you this year with Community. And that really stuck with me because like I was watching through some of the daily videos from last year and I was so solitary. Like I was attending people's live streams, but I was not brave enough to really comment in them. And it was just really a different time. And I'm just so grateful for all my author tuber people now here that are like, I feel real friends in real life. So super cool. Make friends with people, not robots. Anyway, I'm actually going to show you what some of my dictation actually looks like. So yeah, here you go.
I strategically placed us in the corner of the coffee shop, away from the prying eyes and ears of the waitress. I know I'd picked a good spot when she rolled her eyes while taking me to the back corner upon my request. Come on, I know you love what you do. You're the best at it. I refer you to everyone I know. In fact, that last one last week, that was my referral too. You're welcome. I appreciate that. I really do, Clint, I say.
So there you go. Super out of context dictating from chapter 18 of my book. I also reached 50% of my goal today. It doesn't exactly match up like plot wise. But I do anticipate the second half to be much more underwritten than the first. That's always how dictation seems to go for me because I know things less. And so I describe more when I don't know what's going on because it's easier to do that than actually move the plot along. Anyway, I think I'm also in this shot going to show you what it looks like to put things in to the GPT, the AI. So here I am, I kind of copy it in and I give it instructions to transcribe it for me. And it did it so quickly you couldn't even see. Wild. I will see you tomorrow. Drop me a robot emoji. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.